What's going on, everybody? This is Kenny Kindness here, chilling with Kenny C right here on TMV Cafe, bringing you entertainment to your ears. Happy Summer Sizzler Week, everybody. For those that don't know, my good friends of the Northern Wrestling Federation are gearing up for their biggest show of the calendar year called Summer Sizzler. It's taking place this Saturday at the Thomas More Stadium in Florence, Kentucky, which is home of the Florence Yawls baseball team for the second consecutive year. And around this time a year ago, my guest was he was in attendance. He was security. I've seen him at majority of the NWF shows that I've been to for the last several years. He just started wrestling a little over a year ago, and he's getting ready for literally the biggest match of his young career. He's going to be representing Team Bryant, going up against Team Wildcat in the first War Games match in 15 years inside an NWF ring. I'm joined with the one and only Max Steele. He's with me right now. How's it going, man?
Going all right, thank you.
Great to have you on this busy week for you and the NWF. So let's address this.
Yes.
NWF Summer Sizzler this Saturday. Last year you were security. This year you are part of the show in a high-profile matchup. And if memory serves me correctly, you're going to be on the opposite end of one of the guys that trained you, or at least one of your trainers in Wildcat, Chris Harris.
That is correct.
So how you feeling? Just days away from not just the biggest show of the NWF calendar year, but literally the biggest match of your career thus far.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to get into a War Games match. Get my hands on Wildcat Chris Harris. Um, and everybody else on Team Wildcat. I have history with most of them, except for Sinclair Octavius Bentley. We've had a few squabbles here and there, and it's quite hasn't always worked out in his favor like he thought it was going to. Um, but yeah, uh, like I said, I'm just excited. If I would lie to you, say if I wasn't nervous, I'm a little nervous. Um, it's a very dangerous match, if you will. We're doing things a little different instead of being held in like a shark cage. We actually are going to be handcuffed to the outside of the cage.
Mm.
So adds a little bit of a twist to it. Um, a few surprises in store. Might do something a little crazy. Never know.
Ooh. So I've been at the Thunderdome shows for the last 7 years.
Yes.
And yeah, that's one of the most dangerous matches for NWF to have that many bodies inside a cage. And War Games is similar to that. Now, if anybody watched the original War Games matches back in the WCW days, there's two wings.
Yes.
But for the NWF in particular, it's just one ring, and there's eight bodies. So it's the
Yes.
same amount of bodies as the Thunderdome, but it's going to be two teams. Now, you, myself, and others, we have seen this power struggle between Anthony Bryant and Wildcat Chris Harris. Memory serves me correctly. Wildcat was the commissioner at one point, and then leading up to his fight with James Cross, he stepped down. Anthony Bryant became the commissioner. And then when they crossed paths again, Anthony Bryant did what he did. That was another Covington. I always seem to see some of these big moments in Covington. There's
Yeah.
something about Covington in particular with some of the big heel turns, the big shocking moments at that particular city. But then these two been going at it for over a year. And at the previous Covington show, Anthony Bryant called out Wildcat for some disciplinarian meaning of sorts, and he fired the dude, sent him out of the building, got security out of the building, and then later that same show, Roger Ruffin came in and said, "No, he ain't fired, and then all hell broke loose. So obviously, representing Team Bryant is you, is Anthony, is Sean Evans, and it's Titan.
Yes.
And then representing Team Wildcat is Wildcat, Beck Reeves, Nick Ultima, and Sinclair Octavius Bentley. And this is a high stakes match because this will determine who will be the permanent long term commissioner of the Northern Wrestling Federation. Pretty much the winning team of this match, that team captain will be the permanent commissioner. So this is a big stakes. And
Yes.
Anthony Bryant, he's made Wildcats life a living hell. There's no denying that. And he's relying on the veterans like an Evans, Titan. I know Titan for years. I know what he's capable of. And then you come in. You are young into your wrestling career. You are a little over a year in. So
Yes.
what's it like to have a Hall of Famer like Anthony Bryant to come up to you and say, I want you on my team. I want you to help me get rid of Wildcat once and for all. He's got it. That's a big cosign for a Hall of Famer of his caliber, man. How does it feel to get that support from Anthony Bryant?
I mean, it's awesome. And you're talking about how Anthony Bryant's made Wildcat Chris Harris life and living hell. I think Wildcats brought some of that kind of on him, on himself. Um, he's played his favorites. He's had his time. He had his time as commissioner. He stepped down. He knew what the risk he was taking. We have somebody who's great. Man started in 2000. You know, pivotal. Pivotal time for wrestling in the early 2000s. Granted, I was only born in 2000. Plays in my age a little bit, but I go back and watch that stuff. But no disrespect to Wildcat Chris Harris, TNA legend, he's been at WCW. He's been, he's done what he's had to do. And him and Anthony Bryant have their history, Crimson Mafia, all sorts of stuff. But it's an honor that Anthony Bryant handpicked me. It wasn't just like, hey, I didn't ask him; he came to me, and it makes me feel great. It's awesome to have a Hall of Famer see something in me. Um, could have been Wildcat Chris Harris, but it wasn't. It was Anthony Bryant. So, maybe if it was Wildcat, we would talk about a different scenario. But, like I said, it is what it is. Anthony Bryant, is the better pick at the end of the day. So,
Yeah, it's yeah, and you pointed out Anthony and Chris, they do have a storied history dating back to the Crimson Mafia days. Also Lord Krug was a part of that group as well. So that their history does run deep, and obviously, like any other competitor, whether even with those guys no longer being active wrestlers, weekly wrestlers themselves, that they still got that itch of when an opportunity presents itself, they want to fight somebody. They just so
yes.
happens to go at each other at a high stake match, just as and I'm telling you, Summer Sizzler 2025, it is a big show.
Yeah.
It has a stretcher match. There's a mask versus career match. There's a scrambler match. There's tag teams. There's titles on the line. There's careers on the line. There's
Ladder matches.
ladder matches. There's identity on the line. If you
Yes.
Star Rider, I mean, there's alums coming back. There's Nikki Victory making her long awaited return as well. Um, how do you feel about this card overall, man? Like I've seen y'all work very, very hard this past year it's definitely a grind for
Yeah.
a promotion.
I mean,
Homegrown talent like yourselves to see to leading up to this show, like when that date was announced, y'all like everybody's fighting tooth and nail to get a spot on this show. Considering last year was the biggest crowd turnout in the history of Summer Sizzler, over 800 was in attendance, and definitely believe it's going to surpass that number this Saturday.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the card overall for SummerSlam?
So I mean, the card overall, it's going to be an amazing card. You have the young upstart Michael Montana taking on the Luke Larson, who in recent history was a unified champ. Held it for 300 days, I believe. I could be wrong. It could be a little bit longer.
Yeah,
I have the worst memory ever, by the way. So if I get some of these stats incorrectly, I apologize to everybody.
yeah,
But you got a ladder match. You got big dollar Chris Demise, the Vessel Kobe Kane, the Daredevil Pennsylvania Smith, the self-proclaimed best in the world AJ Vest, and last but not least, you got the God among men. I'm sorry, I'm saying this correctly. King among men, God among I can't. God among kings. That it took me a second to get that out.
yeah,
I meant no disrespect by that to James
yeah.
Cross, who probably gonna have a word with me about messing that one up. But
He'll be okay. He's got a lot to worry about, not just that match, but the fact that his faction are at odds with each other. And three of those guys are in a scramble match: Bones, Thorn, and Phoenix.
yeah,
So he's got a lot on his plate.
he's got a lot going on. And I mean, and let's highlight, the main event of that night.
Yeah,
King Nasty Russ, a man who's done it all, if you will.
yeah,
Take on right now Andrew Reed. There's so many great matches on this card that I think people should come out and see. Not just War Games. I mean, specifically, selfishly, I want them to come out to watch War Games. Don't get me wrong,
yeah. Go
but
ahead, go ahead.
I mean, you got women's tag match, and Nikki Victory and Selena, coming back. Selena has a resume, you know, long resume and a great one. Riley Matthews, the current PGWA women's champ. You got Big Mama, who's currently the NWF women's champ herself. You know, everybody except for Riley in that match, has been, you know, women's champ. And I think Riley's gonna give Big Mama the whooping of her life, and then they're gonna have no choice but to put that title on Riley Matthews eventually. She's gonna have no choice but to lock those two, whatever the situation is, not lock, but
Yeah,
put those two one on one against each other somewhere, sometime, another, the
yeah.
David Tyler Dakota Wolf. I
That's
mean,
gonna be nasty right
that's
there.
it's gonna be brutal. I mean, a stretcher death match. And
Yeah.
let's not forget 20-year vet Pompano Joe taking on DC in a lights out match. You
Mm,
know, I don't know what that entails. I don't really, not to sound cocky. I'll be focused on my own self, but I might keep
yeah,
a close eye on that match. See, I'm not going to do anything crazy. I just want to kind of see what that match entails, if you will.
yeah. It's
But
it's an incredible show overall. Shout out
yeah,
to the Florence Yards baseball team
yes,
for having the NWF back at their stadium for the big show. As a matter of fact, at some of the home games this year, NWF has done pre-show games at that
yes,
stadium leading up to the game. And I want to point out the Y'alls are 4-0 on Wrestling Wednesdays this season. They have not lost
yeah. That
when
means the NWF
NWF.
has brought
Yeah,
them good luck.
yeah. So yeah, I think that should tell you that, they should won that back next year. It's going to
100%.
be a long-standing partnership between the Y'alls and the NWF, especially with the momentum that you guys and girls have going for you. It is a fun show. By the way, the doors open this Saturday at 4:30. It's going to be a
Yes,
fan fest. That means majority of these favorites and not so favorites will be hanging out, merch, autographs, pictures, maybe talk smack to them a little bit, maybe get them riled up for. And then the bell time is at 6:30.
correct. Yeah,
So yeah, just spend your entire Saturday afternoon to the nighttime with the NWF Fan Fest Summer Sizzler 2025 this Saturday, Thomas More Stadium at Florence, Kentucky, home of the Y'all's baseball team. Get your tickets at nwfwrestling.com. There's tickets still available. There will be tickets at the door. They put out 800 last year. Let's surpass that. Let's top it. You know what? I think what Roger Ruffin told me earlier this year, he wants 1,000. He won 1,000 in that stadium, and I believe the NWF Army is going to be in full force. They're going to be anxious. You ain't just going to see regulars. You're going to see some first-time wrestling fans. You're going to see some people traveling all over Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, whatever the case may be. It's going to be a fun show. Do not miss it. NWF Summer Sizzler this coming Saturday. Big matches, championships, ladders, stretchers, cages, championships, careers, masks. You're getting it all that you want.
Yes.
In a traditional wrestling show. This is and for those who don't know, NWF has become Cincinnati mainstay for almost 3 decades now.
Yes.
The longevity. This promotion gave you Jillian Hall. It's giving you Anderson of the of Good Brothers, Carl Anderson.
Yes.
It's giving you Wildcat. It's giving you Roger Ruffin, who he was a referee for the early WrestleManias before he got into wrestling. There's a story history with NWF. And they
don't forget the Monster Abyss.
Yeah, Monster Abyss. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Can't forget him.
Yeah, you can catch him on the WWE Unreal doc series.
Yeah.
Or Chris Park, you know what I'm saying? So Max Steel is making his Summer Sizzler debut at the War Games match. Team Bryant versus Team Wildcat. The winning team captain will be the permanent commissioner of the Wrestling Federation. So,
and then I did want to add, you said last year I was on security. Actually, last year I was a lumberjack for Chiron in DC.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, I mean, that's technically security if you think about it.
Yeah,
you have to make sure secure those two mammoths.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
saying? Two giants. Yes,
the two giants. I mean, Taiwan is a big dude.
Yes.
DC, he's a mammoth of a man, and I 2 years ago it was Pompano Joe who fulfilled his odyssey and defeated DC to win the heavyweight title. Now things have changed. Joe has gone back to the dark side and underhanded tactics, if you will. I mean, it takes a lot to take DC on his feet, on the ground. So Joe, he's a veteran. So we're gonna see what kind of shenanigans he gets into this Saturday. It's a fun show.
I don't know if I'll call them shenanigans. I think you gotta do what you gotta do to win. You know.
I mean, I get it, man. You know, I get it. You're a student of the game. You watch these guys on a weekly basis, so I get it. So in addition, I also see you got some other shows that you got coming up. I know PWA, Professional Wrestling Alliance, they're coming up at Carrollton. But better yet, just talk about some of the other shows you got coming up, man.
Yeah, so this month I have after we win War Games, Team Tony does, I'm gonna track my little self down, my big self down to PWA. Finish what I started there. Right now we're in a tournament. I'm in a tournament to crown a new champ. Right now, they're still going through the first rounds. I went through the first round. I beat Cyrus Riley. 1, 2, 3. Also, that same night, I told Hillbilly Billy to burn his boots. He needs to retire from the wrestling business, and I can't change my mind about that. I've beat him 2 consecutive. Every time we step his foot in the ring, I put him down. I'm the one who's walked out, my hand raised up. He called down poor Ratliff from EWA to fight his battles. You know, and I respect Jacob. You know, he's had a lot. You know, he's a champ over there at EWA.
Yeah.
But I think he should stay over there and just mind his business because he has no idea. He's stepping in the ring with the Savage, and as I'm now going to start calling myself because I've taken out nothing but all the hillbillies down there. I'm the hillbilly exterminator. I think I'm that for a reason.
Hillbilly exterminator.
And then I believe I have to remember the date. I apologize. Like I said, I get the worst memory. October 18th, KWF. Um, I'm wrestling Ratliff again down there, you know. Because you know one butt whooping isn't enough. You know, he needs to take two. And once again, I'm not looking past him. You know, he is a champ for EWA for a reason. He's busted his butt to get where he is. Like I said, he's never really stepped foot in the ring with somebody like me.
That's gonna be an incredible show. Check out the Savage, Max Steel. He's gonna be at he's a regular at the NWF. They're gonna be at Fairfield with the Summer Sizzler Aftermath the following week, St. Bernard to end the month of August. And to check out NWF on Facebook, give you updated on the upcoming dates. But right now, check out Summer Sizzler this Saturday at Florence, Kentucky, Thomas More Stadium, home of the Florence Yards baseball team. Also, shout out to my fellow podcast buddies, Nice Guy Andy Podcast. This man right here will be in the studio.
Yes, I will be
with the crew tomorrow. To add, to continue spreading the word of Summer Sizzler. So shout out to Johnny and Sean and Calamity and the whole crew there. So check him out there. And then if you ever wanted to see Max Steel, you got plenty of chances. Not just this month, but he's going to be a force in the wrestling scene. Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, Central Kentucky, whatever ring that's out there, he wants it. He wants to take over. He wants to win championships. He wants to cash those checks. He wants to exterminate anyone that's in his way. Max, I've known you for about a year or two now. I've seen you in the ring several times. I like what I see. You definitely have a lot of potential. And I look forward to see you grow and evolve. And good luck to you in your big match this Saturday. I'll be front row as always.
Yes,
I'll be getting those clips in. I'll see you, man. I'll see you Saturday.
Yes. Thank you. No problem. Thank you.
All right, take it easy, man.
Yep.
All right.